one of the things Dave Aranda told us, we're going to do some things differently. Be a lot more aggressive out of the box, and they won the toss. They want to receive, and it's Cole Wilson back deep. And they will take over at the 25, and that means we'll get our first look at Sawyer Robertson, a guy who leads the nation in passing. He's second in the country in touchdown passes, Craig.
Yeah, for a program that's trying to find its way, they certainly have the offensive firepower to be able to make things happen. The problem this season has been we've only seen it in spurts. We haven't seen consistent play from this unit. Can they put it together today? And as you mentioned, Brian, do it quickly out of the box.
He starts from the gun, and they'll keep it on the ground. And that is Bryson Washington. You know, Washington last year broke the Baylor freshman record for rushing yards, and this is their bell cow, who will get a heavy tote this afternoon. Quickly to the outside, Cole Wilson. And he is brought down, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Damari Henderson with the stop. Third down coming. Keep your eye on Michael Trigg. Their tight end, he's in motion. One of his main route options for Sawyer Robertson when he's throwing the football. Throws to the outside, back shoulder. Ashton Hawkins makes the catch. That's a first down. That's a 14-yard pickup.
Yeah, really nice job there by Hawkins of working back to the football and adjusting. Coverage was there, but Sawyer Robinson with a good throw, good connection to be able to move the chains, keep this drive going.
Again, quickly, Hawkins. And he's at midfield, 5-yard pickup.
Able to get some protection. He looks right, works back left. You see good placement, a little bit low, but an outstanding job by Hawkins of working to it. Part of having a fast start is keeping drives alive and avoiding a 3-and-out there.
Bears will go with trips at the top. They'll keep it on the ground. And Malachi Lawrence makes the stop here. That's one of the guys up front we will say a lot today. Malachi Lawrence and Najee Kelly up front, because UCF will rush 4, and they rely on that front 4 to apply pressure.
Yeah, and those two, Kelly and Lawrence, they really set the tone on the edges. And they say styles make fights, as you know from boxing, and you get a defense that's coming off their last game, 8 sacks against West Virginia, facing a Baylor team with one of the best passing attacks.
Another third down, and again, a receiver screen. This is Josh Cameron. Cameron's got it. There's a flag. Looks like he's got enough for a first down. Let's take a look at what the flag is. Kevin Boitman is our head official.
Holding. Number 1, offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay third down.
That's on Trigg. They'll bring it back.
And you watch Trigg, he's known as a receiver, the matchup nightmare he can be. As a blocker, when you watch him on film, the effort is there, the willingness is there, the technique is not always there. Saw it there as he drew the penalty, and as you mentioned, looked like they had enough for a first down there, but now got to try it again. And this is where we just talked about Kelly and Lawrence on a defense. This is where they could pin their ears back potentially. Again, this defensive front, especially against West Virginia, really seemed to be kind of finding its stride, playing really well.
3rd and 12. Robertson throws down the seam and caught. What a catch by Cole Wilson.
And it all started with that protection. They brought 5. They picked it up, gave him a pocket, gave Wilson the time there on that skinny post to get the separation.
They go quickly. They'll keep it on the ground here to Washington. Over that left side, and for Wilson, you know, he had a 37-game catch streak that ended last week. Didn't have a catch at all last week, so
start a new one now.
2nd and 8 now for Baylor. under pressure. And he just had to get that one off.
And that was from Kelly coming up top. Nice job. And Malachi Lawrence, you see just the ability to dip and bend, and who was there to meet him on the other side was Kelly. Good pressure there, even on a quick throw out to the flat to be able to force a fast throw and an incompletion, and again, put this offense into 3rd and long.
Caden Knighton has checked into the backfield for Baylor. They go 4 wide. Wilson in motion, and it's Knighton. Bounces it outside to the left. That's a first down and more. Inside the red zone. And brought down at the 12-yard line by the freshman out of Oklahoma.
And really nice patience from Knighton. He gets up to the left side of the line. He presses it, keeps bouncing it. Able to get a nice gain, pick up that first down. A nice call there to run it there, not what seemed like a passing situation.
One of the things the coaches talked about with Knighton, they want him to run more between the tackles, but you know what? He bounced that one to the outside and should have. Sawyer throwing to the end zone. And caught. Touchdown, Trigg. Fifth touchdown catch of the season from Michael Trigg.
And this is why he is so dangerous, because of the matchup problems he presents with his length. It all starts, good protection, giving him time. He knows where he wants to go with the ball, Robinson, to his tight end. He just goes up and skies it, brings it down. That's a winning drive right there for Baylor in terms of what they wanted, a fast start, getting their star tight end involved early.
Connor Hawkins in for the extra point, and it is good. 11 plays, 75 yards. They do it in 4 minutes. It's Robertson, to Trigg. Baylor up 7-0. Sickle. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. 7-0 our score here at Baylor. Baylor Bears got the opening kick, and they drove down 75 yards and scored 7-0 thanks to Michael Trigg with his 5th touchdown catch of the season. Brian Custer here with Craig Halbert. It's homecoming here at Baylor. Bears on a 2-game losing streak, trying to turn things around. Both these squads with just 4 wins on the season and trying to remain in the mix to be bowl eligible. Brett Armstrong will kick things away. Back deep for the Knights is Jaden Nixon. Nixon from his own end zone. And tripped up. They'll mark him at the 16-yard line. And now we will see Taven Jackson in the Knights offense. Jackson, a redshirt junior. This is a guy who took over because Franger, their quarterback, broken ribs a few weeks ago. And Jackson's been the starter ever since. You can see what the young man here has done so far on the season.
Between him and Sawyer Robinson, there is no shortage of arm talent on the field today. David Jackson can make all the throws as well.
And he'll swing that one out to Dwayne Thomas Jr. They call him Speedy. And he picks up about 2. LeVar Thornton Jr. with the stop.
He's a really dynamic piece of this offense, talking about number 7, Thomas. His high school coach Damon Jones down at Chaminade Madonna in South Florida used to refer to him as Little Tyreek Hill. Whether it's Speedy or Little Tyreek Hill, I think they're trying to get a point across that he's a playmaker.
They want to get him the football. You'll see him in the slot. From the pistol. Jackson throwing. He's got a man. And intercepted. Stepped right in front of it. He dropped it. LeVar Thornton Jr. had it and dropped it.
And Thornton was in position, an opportunity to make a play. As Jackson had to come all the way back across the field. And Baylor's so close there. That opening offensive drive is what they needed. To have gotten a turnover there on defense would have been huge.
Much maligned defense, talking about Baylor, and a team that has consistently, over the past weeks, gone down early. So this is something Baylor's not used to, being up early in the first quarter. That one over the middle and dropped by Speedy Thomas. Not the way you want to start for the Knights.
Yeah, good start defensively for Baylor, but going back in their 4 losses, Brian, they've only created 1 turnover, that Baylor defense. There was a chance right out the gate to kind of put a check mark there, but nonetheless, they forced this 3 and out. Are winning the fast start battle that both of these teams really stressed when we spoke to them early in the week.
Anthony Veneri will be punting things away. Josh Cameron standing back at his own 40. From his own 46. Cross midfield. And he's in Knight territory. 34-yard punt. And last offensive possession, we saw Michael Trigg, probably the main offensive weapon there for Baylor.
And the main offensive weapon, because he can do just that. Even when he's covered, he's not really covered. And they want to try to target him 10 to 15 times a game. That's how important that he is. But in their previous 2 losses, only 6 total catches for under 100 yards. Conversely, Brian, in that Kansas State game they won, he had 8 catches for 155 yards. So you can see when he's successful how this offense is.
They'll swing that one out to Cole Wilson. Wilson is close to a first down. You saw the numbers there. Robertson and Trigg, not only that connection tops in the Big 12, but in the country, top 10, those 2. This is Washington. Cuts back. They'll mark him down at the 33. That's a 5-yard pickup.
Doing a nice job early on of just mixing things up. A few throws downfield, a few out to the edges, also mixing in the run. Good balance here very early.
Plenty of time for Robertson. He'll check it down to Washington. That's a 3-yard pickup, Philip Dunham. And it looks like Washington is still down.
Timeout for an injury.
You know, last year and even this season, I mean, he's dealt with a number of injuries, and that's one of the things that Coach Aranda and those guys were talking. They wanted Washington to just finish a game because he's dealt with injuries from his thumb to his rib, his foot.
They were expecting him to pair with Dawson Pendergrass. He got hurt before the season started, and it really put most of the rushing load on Washington, who came in today around 120 attempts in terms of carries. So he's really kind of been working hard this year. And when you're being used that much and carrying that much of the load, it's going to take its wear and tear. He's a big part of this offense. You see him getting up there,
getting helped off. You saw they were having him flex that left knee. The trainers. He's a sophomore out of Franklin, Texas. Again, broke the Baylor freshman record for rushing. Last week just ran it 7 times for 23 yards. Powerful runner. Zeke Dunham went right there on that left knee.
Yeah, went low for the tackle, as you mentioned, just kind of hit him right there. It was good, though, to see him as he was walking across the field, kind of Still walking gingerly, but picking up a little more stride as he's going.
Baylor so far, they'll be looking at a 3rd and 1, 3 for 4 so far here on 3rd down. As you take a look here at Dave Aranda in his 6th season now as head coach. Overall 35 and 34 is his record. Listen, Aranda won the Big 12 title here at Baylor. Finished in the top 5 in the AP poll. Won 12 games that season. And they want results here in Waco. Play fake, throw to the end zone, to the seam, knocked away. Here's Dunham again. He's the transfer out of FAU, also India. That guy, he's the secondary of this secondary. So he's the leader of the back end for the Knights.
Yeah, he's going to show great range as they're looking to take a shot downfield in that 3rd and short. You see Dunham, number 2, coming to screen from the other side. Great closing burst, great angle.
Here's 4th and 1.
Got to watch for Sawyer Robinson as well, known for his arm, but he could be an aggressive runner as well, especially in short yardage.
Give it to Knighton. And he powers forward for a 1st down. Got 2. Knighton, another freshman. He's out of Oklahoma. First and 10 from the 26 of the Knights. Knighton bounces off of one defender and picks up a yard. R.J. Jackson, one of the first guys to meet him.
Yeah, nice job on that left side. Not giving up any ground. It's a defensive line for UCF that can rotate in quite a few bodies, even with an injury. Horace Lockett, who was playing really well, still good depth within that unit.
Robertson steps up in the pocket, throws. And here's that Trigg. And they say complete. That's a 13-yard pickup. They'll go with some tempo here. 1st and goal for Baylor. And you can see UCF was trying to say that it was not
under further review.
It wasn't a good catch, so they're going to take another look at it.
Draw going on. See, I also think Dunham was feeling like maybe he was pushed off there. See him extend that right hand, bringing it to his body. He's losing again.
Oh, it's a good catch. That's a good catch. That is a good catch.
Watch the right hand extend. He's going to bring it into his body. It's going to move. That's fine.
Right.
It never touches the ground. He turns and secures it. Wow, outstanding effort there. And that's twice now early in this game where we've seen coverage on Trigg and him still find a way to make plays. They can get him going early. This offense could really explode. So far, so good.
You can see why UCF was complaining. They thought the ball had hit the ground, but you see it hit it. He used the one hand, hits the body, his shoulder. That's a catch. Trigg, of course, a senior. He's out at Tampa, played at USC, Ole Miss, and transferred here to Baylor.
Yeah, I think they've done it maybe more so was.
After further review, the ruling in the field of a catch is upheld.
I think Dunham maybe felt more that he was pushing off. I think that was his initial reaction was to. But nonetheless, no penalty, complete catch, and Baylor's knocking on the door of the fast start they've been so craving.
And this is the best pass defense in the Big 12, talking about UCF. Bryson Washington is back. after going out and getting hit low on that left knee. 2 tight ends for Baylor. They'll throw to the end zone, a slant to Cameron. Touchdown, Baylor. Fifth touchdown catch for Josh Cameron, the senior out of Cedar Park, Texas.
Yeah, they're going to get Cameron isolated up top, one-on-one, and just a little bit of a slant route. This is a good job of kind of quickly setting up Antoine Jackson with the outside move, breaks it inside, and Baylor off to a fast start.
Connor Hawkins, extra point flag is thrown, kick is good.
Illegal formation on the defense. Number 0 is lined up over the snapper. The penalty is declined. The try is good. Timeout.
14-0. Baylor, 2 offensive possessions, 2 touchdowns, nothing. Our score, Baylor's had the football twice. They've scored on both possessions. In fact, last time Baylor has put up 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Got to go back to the beginning of the season, September 13th against Sanford.
And this is a UCF defense that had been particularly stingy in the first quarter as well. Only letting up 1 score coming into this game.
UCF, you want to talk about stingy, their defense only gives up an average of 17 points per game. Here's Nixon. And they'll start things at the 25. There's Scott Frost. Scott Frost, 8th season as a head coach. First year of his 2nd stint here at UCF. 23-10 as the Knights head coach. And man, you can tell he says he's having so much fun as head coach here. You got so much talent in that Florida area, speed that he's got here on this team. He's got a program that's certainly on the rise here in the conference, and let's see what they can do here. It's Taven Jackson and Miles Montgomery in the backfield for the Knights. Dwayne Speedy Thomas gets the handoff. That's an 8-yard pickup.
He also knows what's possible here. Back in, what was it, 2017, he led them to a 13-0 record. He knows what can be accomplished if you get the right pieces in place. And now with this, then part of a Power 4 program. They weren't at that point, had to kind of work even more uphill.
Play fake to Montgomery. He'll swing it out to him. He's got a lot of real estate in front of him. He's got a first down and a whole lot more. DJ Coleman pushed him out of bounds, but not before Montgomery picked up 14.
This is a nice job by Taven Jackson. Things are going to start to collapse around him. He doesn't panic. He goes through his progressions, and he drops it off to Montgomery for a big game. Really nice poise there from Jackson at the quarterback position.
A couple of weeks ago, Taven Jackson threw for 227, 2 touchdowns against West Virginia. They keep it on the ground to Montgomery for a 2-yard pickup. Montgomery and Nixon is who you'll see in the backfield for the Knights. They call them Fire and Ice. But both of these guys are explosive.
Yeah, Montgomery's kind of the rock back there. Nixon's kind of the Swiss Army knife. You'll see him aligned out wide at times, motion into the backfield. They'll use him on jet sweeps. Nixon and Dwayne Thomas, number 7, are very similar in how they're used. Just one is more of a receiver, one is more of a running back.
There's Speedy now. He's got it. He's across midfield. And he's brought down in Baylor territory. And there's a flag. A little extracurricular stuff as Speedy Thomas tried to get up. And that one's going to go against Baylor, so you could probably tack on some more.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 0, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And that's Jackie Marshall. Oh, okay. Okay. I'd say that's a little extra. That's a little extra.
You know you did something when as soon as you get up, you start pleading your case.
Yes. So now that turns into a 28-yard play for the Knights. Here's Montgomery. Cuts back. Maybe a yard. LeVar Thornton with the stop.
Nice job there by Baylor on that zone play, stretching things out, closing down from the backside, not allowing that cutback lane. This is a Baylor defensive line to watch in terms of just getting off blocks. They haven't done a great job of that recent week. They've been in position a lot of times, but not in a position to get off a block and finish plays.
Second down, Jackson. He's going to keep it and forced out of bounds at the 13-yard line by DJ Coleman. 9-yard pickup.
Again, good poise, didn't force it. He was looking for number 9, DJ Black, in the back of the end zone. They're a little bit off on their timing, but saw that, tucked it, ran it.
Third and 1, 2 tight ends for the Knights. Montgomery ran into a pack of Bears, bounced it to the left, and it looks from that spot he may be a little short.
Well, DK Kalu did a great job, number 93. He's not going to give any ground right up top, working against number 52. He stuffed him right back into Montgomery. If he get by getting, it was close on second effort, but number 93 really set up this fourth down.
4th and 1 from the Baylor 13. They're going to throw it. Jackson under pressure, throws, incomplete. No flag.
All right, there's a ton of interesting things about that. That tight end they target is actually a full-time offensive lineman. And to not just try to power it forward there, Brian, for that first.
On downs, Connor Meadows, who's a backup offensive lineman, also changes jerseys and wears 88 and plays tight end as well.
Yeah, he was lined up top, dragging across. It was just interesting. I love that they got under center there. You think maybe they just try to push forward for it, tried to get a little cute there, and ultimately wound up in a turnover downs.
Robertson throwing, and that's caught by Ashton Hawkins. You know, last time that Sawyer Robertson has thrown 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Yeah, go back to last season, November against West Virginia. He's done that thus far. Here's Knighton on the ground, brought down at the 29-yard line. So we hit the 2-minute mark here in this first quarter. As we talked about, this defense has been really stingy for UCF, and this is not the typical start.
For either team.
For either team, you're right. But this was what Dave Aranda was looking for. Again, open to the outside, Jaden Porter. Sophomore. 21-yard pickup, and again, they'll go with a little bit of tempo here. Baylor has scored every time they've had the football here in the first quarter. Under pressure. Throws. It's Knighton. Knighton dives and brought down at the 25-yard line.
I don't know what he went for Halloween, but he should have been a magician there. The way that he was able to get away from Walker, he spins out, stays on his feet, has the wherewithal to be able to find Knighton over the middle and create that big play. That was great penetration by number 55. He couldn't finish as Sawyer Robinson breaks free and finds a way to create a play.
30 seconds left in the quarter. Robertson looking right. He's going to throw to the end zone. Cameron had it and in and out of his hands. Antoine Jackson was back there in coverage, but Josh Cameron had it.
Yeah, nice throw there. Cameron just couldn't bring it in. His O-line early on playing really well as well. You saw in the news, it's a unit that had a coaching change during the week. That group responding as well.
Swinging it out to Ashton Hawkins. Dunham just blew that up. It's a loss of 3. And that's going to be the final play of the first quarter.
The end of the first quarter.
It has been things in practice to change up the tempo. And Robertson throws. Hawkins comes down with it. Dropped at the 23-yard line. Cole Kozlowski makes the stop. Keep this in mind, you know, look at what Baylor did last week compared to what they're doing here today. You know, through the air, 163 yards Baylor Bears offense has generated. This is the best pass defense in the Big 12. Only giving up 146. This is Connor Hawkins from this field goal. This will be from 40 yards out. And it is good. Well, tomorrow, Sunday NFL countdown for the Chiefs and the Bills. Alex Smith will give you all access with Patrick Mahomes, the art of the off-platform throws. You got live reports from Detroit. J.J. McCartney and the Vikings taking on those Lions. You got Randy's best catches of the week, and you got Moss. Sunday NFL countdown at 10 Eastern on ESPN. And don't forget about our Monday night matchup as well. Cardinals squaring off with the Cowboys at 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN Deportes, and of course the all-new ESPN app. You got Peyton and Eli on ESPN2, and the coverage kicks with NFL Live at 3 Eastern from AT&T Stadium. Scott Van Pelt Monday Night Countdown crew at 6.
That previous drive doesn't show up as a turnover per se in terms of a fumble or interception, but that turnover on downs really is a turnover, and they turned it into a 3-point swing in their favor.
UCF, on average, only gives up 17 points per game. Baylor has already done that here as we begin the second quarter. And now here comes the offense again for the Knights.
I'll have to see how they respond now. We came into this game kind of feeling with some of the struggles that Baylor was having, that they were in a fight or flight type mode. They are showing a lot of fight here early on. How do the Knights, though, respond? They were off last week. It was a bye week, a chance to get healthy. They felt they had a great week of practice. The week before that, they really kind of beat up West Virginia program. So there was a lot of positive momentum coming into this game, but the slow start, can they bounce back?
Jackson looks right, throws over the middle as Dylan Wade, who makes the catch. He's got himself a first down. It's an 11-yard pickup for the Knights.
There you go. You're falling behind. It's still early. You're not going to get it all back in one play. Working the ball down the field, as they showed on their previous drive, that they can move the football. We're unable to finish that drive, but they can work it down the field.
Wade is a transfer from Maryland. Oh, high snap. And there's the athleticism of Jackson to get it because it hit Montgomery.
I think it was going to be a direct snap to Montgomery. I think they were going to do a little bit of trickery there, and it was a little bit over Montgomery. You're going to watch him step into it. He goes for it. He was looking to take that snap. It was a nice job there by Jackson of just kind of keeping his boy, kind of bringing it in.
Look, Jackson's an athletic guy, the quarterback. I mean, his brother is Trace Jackson Davis, played at Indiana, plays for the Golden State Warriors now. Pitches that one to Speedy Thomas. Thomas over their right side, forced out of bounds at the 42-yard line, and then a flag there. More extracurricular stuff there on the sideline.
It'll be the second time they've got Thomas out to the edge, got positive yards, and had him draw a flag.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 3, unnecessary roughness on the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Everybody's picking on Speedy.
Yeah, Tevin Bobby. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it wasn't even against, it was against the tight end, way out of bounds.
Dylan Wade. So now that equals out to, the penalty. That's a 26-yard gain here for the Knights. Nixon, Jaden Nixon in the backfield. Direct snap to him. He drops it and crunched. DK Kalu. Not Khaled, but Kalu there with the stats and the loss of 3.
Yeah, you're going to go with the same look this time with Nixon. Why? He's going to step in front of it. It's intended for him, and he just can't find it. I don't know. I may lose that point.
You're in line. Jackson, they'll run the option here. He keeps it. And it looks like he almost lost the football, too, once he got hit. Kyler Jordan makes the stop, maybe a 1-yard pickup. 3rd and long coming for the Knights, who have yet to convert a 3rd down. From Baylor's 45, and a flag. May have a false start here.
False start. Offense, number 9, didn't get reset before the snap. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That's DJ Black. He's the transfer out of South Carolina. Fastest guy on that offense. He is a speedster.
Well, they're going to set that offense back. Baylor will show a little bit of pressure on that other one. See here if they just try to keep it a 4-man rush, drop back, keep everything underneath, force the punt.
Third and 17 now. Jackson looking, throwing. Another flag. I think we may have get a holding on call here.
Yeah, left side of that line.
Holding. Number 62, offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
That's Jabari Brooks. You know, you talked about how both of these offensive lines have had to go through some change. Baylor, their offensive line coach, left the program early in the week for personal reasons. And obviously at UCF, their O-line coach, Sean Clark, who was the former head coach at App State, died suddenly about 6 weeks ago, really affected this squad. So both offensive lines have had to go through some change. This is Veneri punting things away. Cameron from his own 6. Across the 20. 44-yard punt. Nice return by Cameron. 17-0 our score. We'll be back. Baylor football when we come back. Baylor from their own 30. On the ground to Washington. Yeah, went out earlier after getting hit on that left knee, but he's back. Picks up 4 yards.
Looking pretty nimble, too.
Yeah. They'll go with bunch sets at the top and bottom of your screen. And they'll throw that one to Cole Wilson.
Nice job blocking on the edge, too, by Josh Cameron, number 34.
10-yard pickup. Plenty of time. Cameron had it, dropped it. Good defense, too. Jaden Bellamy was with him.
Yeah, Bellamy played right through that. I will say earlier, I'm really impressed with the way this Baylor offensive line is responding. They hadn't been playing very well. We talked about the coaching change. They're picking up pressure, really handling a defensive line that is coming off a monster performance against West Virginia 2 weeks ago.
Here's Washington.
Nice job there. Pull the center around, the backside tackle. Brayden, they're going to watch the center snap. He's going to pull around. You're going to see the tackle come around, lead up in there for Bryson. Again, I've really been impressed with the way, it's early, but this O-line has really responded, played well. Looks like a little bit of a different unit than what you had seen recently on tape. One of those guys who pulled around was Sean Tompkins, who moved into the starting lineup last week. They feel like he's maybe brought a little consistency to that group, played well up top there.
3 seconds left on the play clock. And Baylor's going to have to call that timeout.
Timeout. Baylor, their first of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
Coach Aranda now has Craig Watts and Austin Woods, a couple of quality control coaches, now coaching that offensive line. There was like Mason Miller left for personal reasons.
Yeah, sometimes when there's change, there's a spark. You know, I think of, UAB against Memphis a few weeks ago. Trent Dilfer gets fired. Memphis is riding high. They go in there and they get caught off guard. I think anytime there's a change, there's a spark, there's a sense of, you know what, something's not going right. That forced this change. We all need to respond. And again, we got a lot of football to play, but I think this offensive line unit looks much different in the pass protection, and opening some holes in the run game, and really facing what I felt watching on film was a defensive unit for UCF that was really starting to come into its own along that defensive line. They have not been as effective so far early on.
Well, UCF have the best pass defense in the conference. They only give up 146 yards through the air a game. But they've already given up a 173 so far here as Knighton gets a block, spins around, got a first down, still on his feet, leaps a man, and then out of bounds. What a run by the freshman, Caden Knighton.
Very similar to what they just did with Washington. Instead of going inside, this one's going to bounce. Center's going to pull, left tackle's going to pull, then you get some more good blocking from Cameron downfield, and some tough running from Knighton.
15-yard pickup by the freshman. The slant. Porter. That's a good 7-yard pickup for Baylor. And this offense is clicking.
Yeah, that's the RPO right there. Nice read by Robinson. They were pulling trig in there. He saw that he had the one-on-one, the space. He pulled it, talking about Sawyer Robinson, and delivered.
Bunch set at the top of your screen. Knighton gets the carry in between the tackles, and he's got himself a first down.
And again, some lead blocking from their stud tight end, Trig, number 1.
Five-yard pickup there.
And there's some Baylor fans watching us go, where's this team been?
At least for the past 3 weeks. Baylor was kind of like the sexy pick to win the conference this year going into the season. Would they win 5, 6 in a row? I think
6 straight
in last season. That one almost intercepted. Kozlowski was there.
Kozlowski, the transfer from Colgate, doing a nice job extending, breaking up the pass there.
There's Michael Trigg in the slot, top of your screen. Washington, excuse me, spins off a man, but brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That's a loss of 1. Jamal Johnson.
Rodney Laura initially got upfield with good push, number 94, that allowed Johnson to be able to make that play.
3rd and 11. Baylor's 4 of 7 on 3rd down in this game thus far. Robertson rolling, throwing, and skips that one in the direction of Ashton Hawkins.
UCF defense able to stiffen up a bit, force this field goal opportunity.
Here comes Connor Hawkins. He's already made 1 field goal. This will be from 46 yards out. Made a 43-yarder the beginning of the 2nd quarter here. Season long is 53. And he missed that one bad. 17-0 remains our score. Night football when we come back. Their defense finally comes up with it. A missed field goal, and here we go. 4-yard pickup by Montgomery.
And it feels like if you're going to kind of settle in offensively, number 22, he's kind of their rock. They need to get him more involved.
Swing that one out quickly to Dylan Wade. The tight end's got a first down.
A good read by Jackson, pulling that, making the throw. Been a slow start, but missing that field goal and everything, still only 17-0. Drive downfield, put some points on the board, start to slowly change the dynamic of this game.
Speedy Thomas in motion, and a flag. That's on the offense.
False start. Number 7, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's not going to help you change the dynamic.
Nope. Make it 1st and 15 now. Montgomery gets the edge and forced out of bounds by Reggie Bush. But a 15-yard pickup by Miles Montgomery.
Watch the right tackle turn his guy out. Cushman is a nice soft corner there for Montgomery to turn it. They feel like he's their best offensive player. And again, you're going to get this offense going. You got to get your top playmaker involved, get him more touches, and he responds there. Nice job blocking up front on that right side, and big gain from Montgomery.
Jackson over the middle to Wade, in and out of his hands. Keaton Thomas was with him.
Yeah, good effort there by Wade, just a little bit behind him, not able to bring it in.
That one to Wade. He picks up a couple. 3rd down coming.
A little bit more manageable with 3rd down as Wade has been very active here as a target goes off the field.
The Knights are 0 for 3 on 3rd down. They will get the ball to begin the 2nd half, so you want to put points on the board here. They run the option. Montgomery gets the pitch, and he's stuffed. Jacob Redding.
Redding makes a play. It's just a great defensive play overall. They're going to work the option. Watch all the green helmets just stringing out. Number 21 in place, number 3 in pursuit. Redding actually pushes number 3 out of the way to go make that tackle. But really well played. See some of those old Nebraska roots from Scott Frost with the option there, but Baylor well defending it.
Redding's a great story. Walk on, now on scholarship, legacy player, father, grandfather played here at Baylor. They love his work ethic. 4th and 5. Jackson, empty set, throws, incomplete. Caldre Williford got a hand on it, and the Bears will take over when we come back up 17-0. It's homecoming here at Baylor. And coming up at 7:30 Eastern on ABC, all new ESPN app, the final game of the triple header. 14th ranked Tennessee, 18th ranked Oklahoma, and it goes down in Rocky Top. What is Baylor defense? Stingy. Last 3 drives for UCF. A couple of turnovers on downs, 1 punt. And this is Caden Knighton fighting his way and into Knight territory. Another first down, 12 yards for Knighton.
Nice job, little power look, pulling that backside. Guard and tackle.
He's got 55 yards rushing so far, the freshman. Robertson throwing and caught by Trigg. Let me tell you something, man. I'd throw it to that guy every opportunity I could.
Well, that's why they want to target him 10 to 15 times a game. He was getting pressure up top from Lawrence, but he got that pass off just in time. Dunham there in coverage. He never found it. Trigg, great job finding the football, making a play.
32-yard pickup by Michael Trigg.
You watched the end of that game last week against Cincinnati. He was fired up. He was frustrated. You wondered how he'd respond early on. Very well.
Robertson looks to the end zone. Throws! Oh! Ashton Hawkins. He's got some big mitts, but couldn't bring that one in.
Here Triggs working against number 2. You see Dunham trying to make up ground, never finds the football. Great concentration there by Trigg. Going low, making that play. And again, nice job there by Robertson of sitting in there. He was getting pressure from his blind side. Got rid of that just in time.
2nd and 10. Knighton bounces it. Brought down at the 11.
I think there's some parts of when they don't have the football they need to work on.
Number 43's helmet came off and must leave the game for one play.
If I'm Baylor, I'm really excited about Caden Knight and Michael Turner, 2 freshman backs. They're showing a lot. And they need them to come on to be able to take some of the load off of Bryson Washington.
You know, Baylor started this game 3 for 3 on 3rd down. They've gone just 1 for 5 since. This is 3rd and 7. Bunch set. They throw it to Cameron. And right with him is Jaden Bellamy, their best cover corner, and was not having it.
Yeah, great read by Bellamy. See that coming,
diagnose it. UCF.
UCF have 3 timeouts. They'll call their first one here.
It'll be 30 seconds.
Don't forget the 2-minute timeout will come your way as well. About 30 seconds away from that. So Trigg, 6 touchdown catches now on the season. Man, this guy, and we talked about how he leads the Big 12, but look at what he does nationally as a tight end.
He's such a matchup nightmare. When he's been successful, they've been successful. Last week, only 3 catches, 30 yards, did have a TD. The week before that, in the loss to TCU, 3 catches for 56. Getting him involved and getting him involved early is important, and they've done that here today.
Here's Connor Hawkins for another field goal attempt. This will be his 3rd. Made one from 43, missed one from 47. This is just from 28. As the rain starts to come down here in Waco. And that one's good. Baylor now up 20-0. It's almost a reverse of what we saw from Baylor last week against Cincinnati, where they were down this big and all of a sudden tried to come back and had a furious comeback in the 2nd half that ended up coming up short. Now they're on top here of UCF.
Well, that's the thing about this Baylor offensive and team. They've shown they could do it in spurts. They usually have to do it when they're behind. Can they put together 4 quarters? So far in this first half, they have done that. Now does Central Florida have that rally to them that we've seen at times from Baylor?
You know, this season, Baylor has not pitched a shutout in the first half. So this would be a first for them. As Dave Aranda trying to shake things up. You see him, hey, let's go. Look, this guy's been on the hot seat around here in Waco. Number of newspaper articles calling for the end of his tenure. They've done a lot of things differently in practice. Try to change the tempo, and it's worked thus far. Here's Nixon from inside the 5. And he is dropped at the 18-yard line.
And going back to Aranda, too, he said that he was going to bring the excitement level. He was going to bring the energy and challenge his team to meet him. Thus far, they have done that.
Just 99 total yards of offense for the Knights so far here in this first half. And it goes to what, in our conversation with Coach Frost, when we were talking to him, he said he's interested. He said, I don't know what Baylor team, either we're going to find a wounded Baylor team who's going to come out and fight us, or a team that maybe if we can get on them early, they give up. But he's found a bear that is willing to fight.
Yes.
That bear in the woods wants to fight.
Unfortunately, though, they say when you face a bear to get down and play dead. Yeah. we don't want that.
Yeah.
Delay of game on the defense. Coming out too late for the time to make the snap. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's something you don't see called often, and it happened too often.
I just run through my Rolodex, so I don't think I've seen that yet this season.
Now move the ball up to the 23. 1st and 5 for the Knights. Jackson throwing. That's complete to DJ Black, who ran backwards for some reason. But his forward motion,
I think
about a yard shy.
He was a good yard past the sticks. Trying to work back upfield to create some space. That Baylor defense quickly closed and made sure he fell short.
We've hit that 2-minute timeout.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
And it is 20-0. 2 minutes until the half here in Waco. UCF with the football, looking at 2nd and 1. That is complete. Wade with the catch. They'll move the sticks. 5-yard pickup. Knights trying to get on the board here. They'll get the football to begin the second half. Jackson again through the air, again to Wade, and he gets out of bounds. And another flag. LeVar Thornton throws down Wade.
They were way past the white line there when he brought him down to the ground.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 25, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's not what you want to see, because now that's going to put that in Baylor territory.
You can see Thornton's going to come up at the tackle. They're in the white. He's spinning. They're well in the green. He throws him down. Got to have just awareness of where you are. It wasn't violent, but at that point in the sideline.
And that's the third one of those penalties Baylor defense has had here. Boy, the laundry is really starting to add up. False start on the Knights.
False start. The offensive unit did not get set before the snap. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Someone gives you a gift, you accept it and say thank you.
Right.
You know, give back. This is what Central Florida needed. That Baylor was more than happy to kind of let them take those short passes and have to work their way all the way down the field. They get that roughness penalty, got a big chunk of yardage, and give a little bit back here.
Knights still with 2 timeouts. Again, sense of urgency to get some points on the board, considering they will get the football to begin the second half. Under pressure, and he just throws that one in the ground. Matthew Fobbs-White, the guy who was applying the pressure. In fact, Fobbs-White top 5 in the country in quarterback pressures, but no sacks on the season.
They wanted to challenge him to finish more, deliver. Amarion Winston, number 32, also there as well.
Second down, 15. Receiver screen. The speedy Thomas bobbled it. Got back to the original line of scrimmage. Third down coming. 90 seconds left here in the half.
Don't need to get it all here. You're obviously working in 4 down. I'm sure you at least set yourselves in a manageable situation next down.
0 for 4 on third down are the Knights so far. Throws in, almost intercepted. Devin, Bobby, LeVar Thornton right there.
Caleb Burns, a freshman, is going to get pressure up top. You see him come unblocked. Number 5 does a great job of just chipping him. And then Jackson throws it into double coverage there.
And the Knights are going to punt it away.
Too far. You had to get a little bit closer to that 4th down, to those yardsticks. I want to give it up back at midfield here. Baylor some time to work. Got to punt it away now.
Anthony Veneri will do the punting. And another flag, delay a game.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Shanked it. And mark that one out of bounds at the 28-yard line, just a 26-yard punt. Hey, let's take a look at today's good hands play brought to you by Allstate. How about these catches here by Michael Trigg?
Yeah, great hands there, going up. Extending coverages there, using the length to go up. Here, creating a little separation of one hand. That's really good hands right there. Brings it in, secures it against his body.
Robertson throwing over the middle, crossing around Kelsey Johnson. He's brought down at the 43-yard line, 14-yard pickup, under a minute. 2 timeouts for Baylor.
Johnson showing the depth of that tight end group.
Stepping up again, plenty of time. Check it down. Bryson Washington steps out of bounds at the 45.
Yeah, that old line just standing up against a 4-man rush. I really thought coming into week what we had seen that UCF would be able to get there with 4. This offensive line, again, I said it earlier, really impressive that the way that they've responded and rebounded this week with the way they played in the first half.
Look at this time. Robertson has the Speedy. Speedy across midfield, or Washington, excuse me. And he's brought down in Knight territory.
This became a unscripted screen. He's going to get pressure, going to get pushed back. He does a great job of just finding Washington having enough poise. Then you see all the blockers kind of downfield. That wasn't planned to be a screen, but good job there by Robinson of turning it into one, of him and Washington being on the same page.
Baylor will use their second timeout, one of those left. By the way, Sawyer Robertson now has thrown for 240 yards here in this first half. Go along with those couple of touchdowns as well. That ties a career high for him already here in the first half. This is a guy who transferred in from Mississippi State. He was recruited to Mississippi State by Mike Leach. And he has come here and just flourished.
Well, what makes that number even more stark, Brian, is it was only 137 yards all last week in the entire game.
Leads the nation in passing yards. Second in TDs. He came into this game second in TDs. He's already added 2 more here, so he's got 25 now on the season. And he's flinging that one out to his backup tight end, Matthew Klopfenstein.
All 3 tight ends have gotten involved in this first half now.
Got out of bounds, 30 seconds left, and still 1 timeout in the back pocket for the Bears. Under pressure and sacked. Ball's loose. Flag, and the Knights come up with it. Malachi Lawrence came off the edge and made the hit.
Lawrence has been close a few times, able to get there. The question was he throwing it or was he down before that ball came loose?
Well, here's Kevin Boitman.
Intentional grounding. Number 13, offense. It's a loss of down at the spot of the foul. 2nd down.
So that was literally the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
You take a sack and then get an intentional grounding on you. You see Lawrence coming from the backside.
The ruling is being reviewed.
Now his knee is down there.
Yeah.
So he's down. So
Yeah.
actually an odd twist of a break for Baylor. I think that he's going to be down there. We're going to watch that right knee. Watch that right knee down there. He's still got it in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So UCF still gets the sack, but Baylor actually gets some yards back off of.
Benefit from that, because the Knights thought maybe they would get the football.
Or if not, even push it back even further off of the penalty and the loss of down.
Yep. Malachi Lawrence, by the way, leads the Knights in sacks.
Replay has reviewed the play and determined the quarterback's knee was down before he released the ball at the 47-yard line.
Great camera work by our crew. That will be the 5th sack of the season for Malachi Lawrence.
Yeah, there's been 1 or 2 times previous he's gotten close. That one, just an outstanding get-off, working the edge and getting there.
Baylor is calling their final timeout to avoid a runoff.
Baylor's going to be looking at a 3rd down and 12. No timeouts. And 21 seconds left on the clock until the half.
They need to be smart here. We saw her flirting with disaster there under previous play. You got a lead. You played a great first half. Don't give UCF a chance to kind of find some momentum and some excitement going into halftime.
Josh Cameron at the bottom of your screen. And that was knocked away and picked off. Once again, Malachi Lawrence gets through, knocks it away out of the hand, and right into the lap of Derek LeBlanc.
Lawrence, he's going to be coming from up top. Just going to get pushed and works underneath.
Clock
Gets
operator,
swipe
please
at
reset
that
the game
hand, and
clock to
Derek
13
LeBlanc's
seconds.
right there. Good awareness by the big man to scoop it up, and felt like maybe just you wanted a run. Keep keep the clock moving. They decide to drop back, and Lawrence, who has kind of just been on fire the last 2 plays, getting around the edge, creating that turnover. And this is kind of the way that defensive line had showed on tape, now playing on that series, and a chance here for some momentum going in at half.
They've got 2 timeouts. We got 13 seconds on the clock. They're at the 35. See if they can get some points on the board before the half. They'll get it to start the second half. Jackson pumps, throws to the seam, and incomplete. Wayden Charles was the intended target. DJ Coleman wasn't having it. In coverage, he's the nickelback. 8 seconds. So you still got a couple of plays.
You got the 2 timeouts. You got to think to yourself, 8 seconds though is not a lot of time. Do we want to set ourselves up for a kick, or do we want to try to go for the big score? I think the way this first half has gone, I think it's important to come away with points.
And Noe Ruelas, who's the kicker.
Timeout. UCF, their second of the half.
For the Knights.
It will be 30 seconds.
Is a guy who has a big leg. And Scott Frost told us usually for him, it would be, 38, 39-yard line. He said, that's no problem for us. We'll go for a field goal from there.
Yeah, but I mean, and just to clarify, obviously they need to come away with points, but I think you need to set yourself in a situation to make sure you get that field goal attempt. Yeah. Get at least 3.
Yep.
You mentioned they come out, they regain possession.
See Ruelas over there already warming up. And they'll keep it on the ground to Montgomery, who slides down. They'll call a timeout.
Smart. I think smart play, good awareness by
Timeout.
Montgomery. They talk about how he's the leader on
UCF,
offense.
the
He knew
final
he
of the
needed
half.
to get
It will be a
down.
full timeout.
They got the timeout.
Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 2 seconds. 2 in the game clock, please.
They mark it at the 27-yard line. So he'll be looking at a 45-yard field goal attempt. Season long is 53. Noe Ruelas, senior out of Connecticut, transferred in from UConn. He was booming 53-yarders pregame. This is from 45. And the Knights are on the board. So it's the defense.
Team effort there to end that half and to give them a little bit of momentum going into the locker room. To our Baylor team, Evil Brian, we're starting to count out.
Finally got on the board right before the first half. Here's Jaden Nixon from his own 3. Nixon crossed the 25, brought down at the 31-yard line. 28-yard return. And here comes Taven Jackson. Jackson was 11 for 20 in that first half, threw for just 84 yards. UCF, as an offense, racked up just 125 in total yards.
I think they got to find more ways to get number 22, Miles Montgomery, involved. He's going to start out split to Taven Jackson's left. And then when they did have success in that first half, was when they were able to get Dwayne Thomas, number 7, on the edges.
They'll go 5 wide. That's Montgomery going in motion. Fake it to him. Jackson under pressure, throws it, wings it. No one's there.
And they were hoping to kind of spring number 9, DJ Blake, with that motion there with Montgomery in the backfield. Good discipline by this defense. Really enjoyed talking to Matt Powledge, the defensive coordinator, this week. You really kind of felt like this unit could respond, could get better, and so far today they've played much better.
2nd and 10. This is Speedy Thomas. Brought down at the 36 once again. A third down coming here for the Knights. Knights in the first half 0 for 5 on third down. 0 for 2 on fourth down. This is where the Baylor defense has really played well.
They have responded.
Jackson under pressure, escapes. He's going to throw downfield. He has a man. DJ Black had a step, and there's a flag. DJ Black had a step on Calvin Simpson Hunt, and had he let him a little bit, that would have been 6.
Pass interference. Number 28, defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
That really all started with Kylan Reed. He's going to get pressure. Jackson does a nice job of step out of bounds going downfield. But I mean, you see the defender there. He just tried to make up ground. Easy call there for the officials.
Montgomery, cross midfield, right up the gut. 3-yard pickup for the Knights.
Baylor had the right defensive call. They had a free rusher off the edge. Just missed him. Nice job by David Jackson on our previous play of avoiding the rusher and drawing that penalty.
Again, Montgomery. And he's close to a first down, so that's a 6-yard pickup, and you talked about it. You got to feed Montgomery.
I know they're down. They're not down by that much. I know all the momentum is on Baylor's side, but this game is still close enough. You've got to lean on your best players. Montgomery is one of those.
Third and 1. Knights trying to convert a third down. They finally do it. And Montgomery's got a first down. Devin Bobby makes the stop for Baylor.
Well, they were able to in that first half 1 or 2 times put together a drive, not finish. Need to be able to finish this. Got those 3 points right before the half. Need to punch this one in the end zone.
Nixon, what a blocker in front. DJ Coleman makes the stop, 2-yard pickup.
Well defended, DJ Coleman. Also Redding coming down, taking on the block, setting the edge, allowing Coleman to make that play. Bears rotating in some fresh bodies on that D-line.
From the 35. Design quarterback run, Jackie Marshall. Came right up there and smacked Taven Jackson.
Talked about some fresh bodies, showing it right there. Number 91 getting upfield, and number 0, Marshall, looping around to make that tackle. That was Adonis Freelo. Helped set that up. Now putting him again, Brian, in a 3rd and long.
9th play of this opening drive of the second half. 3rd down and 8. Knights 1 for 6 on 3rd down. 3 seconds on the play clock. Jackson pump fakes, throws over the middle, incomplete. Flag.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Number 13 on the offense. The player was on the line and covered up. The penalty is declined. Results in a 4th down.
So now what do you do? 4th down, looking at 8.
I've been called soft. I would kick it. get the points,
And
be
it
smart.
looks like that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, I know it's too far to go. You haven't had success on 3rd and 4th down today. Make sure you keep cutting into that lead.
This will be a 53-yard field goal for Noe Ruelas. 53 is his season long. Hit that one against Kansas State earlier this season. He was booming these pregame. Got enough distance? No! Just short, and no good. It remains 20-3 here in the 3rd quarter. Baylor. Baylor, UCF, 3rd quarter, 10 minutes, 58 seconds. Baylor football, first time for them on offense here in the 2nd half. Caden Knighton had a nice first half. Ran it 8 times for 58 yards. 9th carry goes for 7.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Baylor, you certainly don't sit back, but certainly start to work, lean on that run game a little bit.
Knighton again. Spins. Brought down at the 48. That's another 6-yard pickup.
A little Madden action right
Yeah,
there. That's
isn't it?
yeah. I don't know the button controllers, but pretty sure you can get them to do that.
That's C. But you hit that C button,
Yeah, yeah.
man. Hit that spin. .71 yards rushing so far for the freshman. He hits that one. Cut back to the inside.
Again, I really like, we haven't seen Michael Turner and Knighton's the other, I really like the way he's run, shown good patience. I think they've got to develop more as blockers when they're in there, when they pass. But in terms of runners, and Michael Turner, number 23, he was an ESPN 300 player. Caden Knighton, he was a high 3-star. Those two certainly have ability.
Knighton again. Just a young kid who you can see has a great future, really bright future here at Baylor, and they want him to run more between the tackles. He's busted a couple of them outside, but he's certainly doing that today.
And just showing nice presence, pressing the line, great feet.
3rd down. Hit behind the line of scrimmage. Najee Kelly, first guy to meet him. Lost 2.
Yeah, Kelly, who's flashed times, but been pretty quiet today for the impact player that he can be. Coming off the edge there to put them in this 4th down.
Kelly's a hell of a player, especially up front, along with Malachi Lawrence. In fact, Kelly during that bye week went back to his high school there at Dillard High School in Florida, gave him a $10,000 donation. Joseph Dodds is back in the backfield. Robertson is going to take off and slide for a 1st down.
That's something we hadn't seen, and we hadn't seen it because he hasn't needed to, but you look at Sawyer's numbers as a passer, and you underrate him as a runner. He's very effective as a runner, not just as a scrambler, but even on design runs, but they're being smart, tucking it, getting a 1st down.
Pressure off the edge. Robertson avoids that. On the run, throws, and incomplete. Bellamy again diving at that pass, holding his stomach. He'll step out.
This is just great pocket maneuvering. You see him step up, slip out, The only problem with this play, it wasn't a completion, but that defensive line really kind of squeezed things around him, and he really masterfully worked that pocket to be able to break outside. Nonetheless, the defense forced an incompletion.
Yeah, Bellamy laid out to get a hand on that. You see him getting 10-2 on that one underneath the trig. Little 5-yard pickup. Third down coming here from Baylor. Bears 4 of 11 on third.
They're making a more manageable third, but also like get trig involved, get touches. He'll go off the field on this one.
Don't think that that's a flag on a play. One of the Baylor football players lost his towel. They'll keep it on the ground. Joseph Dodds. First carry of the game. 5-yard pickup, and it's good enough for a first.
Brian, if he would have stayed on track to the right around the puller, he would have way more than 5. He kind of cut that to his left side. Got the first, got the job done, but they had it blocked pulling around from left to right. There was a bigger seam there.
2 tight ends.
The ruling on the field of a first down is under further review.
Take a look at the spot there. Got a feeling if you're UCF, especially from a defensive standpoint, this is a critical drive. You want to try to get some stop and get that football back for your offense.
Ooh, nice balance there. It looked like he was going down. That elbow touches. Let's see, we'll get a good look here. He's going to keep his balance there. Move, that elbow is going to be the first to go down there, right around. I think it's a pretty good spot there. Actually, looks like he may even got a little bit more than what they spotted.
This Baylor offense, you want to talk about talent for the future, relying on 3 freshman running backs. You've seen a lot of Knighton, Dodds now. They've got Michael Turner as well to go along with Bryson Washington, who's the sophomore.
Yeah, they need to take some of that workload off of Washington. What do you think? I think you got it.
I think so. It should be upheld.
After further review, the ruling of a first down is upheld.
But I like how they're running the ball. They're getting progress. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Swing this out. Hawkins. That is blown up. Kozlowski. That's a 5-yard loss by Baylor.
Kozlowski doing a nice job reading that, beating the block. Like he believe one of the tight ends there. Read that, make that tackle.
Other side, Hawkins slips a tackle. Got a blocker and then knocked backwards. Oh, what a hit. Braden Marshall came up and put a licking on it.
He broke free from number 5, DJ Bell, just to take a bigger hit downfield. Looks like Bell's got him there. Can't hold on. Hawkins fights free, and then boom, he takes a big shot there. That's Bell right there. Just couldn't hold on. He breaks free.
After all of that, he picked up a couple yards. Now it's 3rd and 14 for Baylor. From the Knights 33. Throwing over the middle, caught Trigg. Short of a first down, 10-yard pickup. They'll be looking at 4th down and about 4.
They're gonna kick, which I think is smart. Get those points, extend that lead. At the very least, maybe at the worst, you line up, maybe see if you could draw them off. But it's cutting right to the chase, getting that field goal unit on the field.
It's Connor Hawkins. He's 2 for 3 so far today. This is from 41 yards. Missed from 47. That was in the second quarter. That one's good.
That's the type of museum I wanted to go to.
Here's Nixon again from inside the 5. Got to the 19 and pushed back. This Knight offense has only mustered 144 total yards compared to the 348 for Baylor.
They need to find a way to create some big plays.
3rd best rushing team in the Big 12. Look what they've done in October. Averaging about 215. Today, just 55. Here's Montgomery. Flag. Spins. Montgomery still on his feet. Still up. And brought down at the 35-yard down. Miles Montgomery. And he looks at the sideline and says, "Give me the football."
Personal foul. Chop block. Number 58, 62. Offense. At the distance to the goal line. Replay first.
They kind of knew it. Everybody else started working their way downfield except those two. You see, you're going to be a little bit up top, right? In the corner of your screen. There you go.
Yep.
Just can't. Once you're engaged, the other player cannot go low. And as you mentioned, that was a great gain negated.
1st and 20 now for the Knights. Well, underneath there to Max Drag. 5-yard pickup. Under 4 minutes left in the quarter.
Looks like Baylor's going to kind of give them the underneath, only showing 4 in terms of pressure.
Three on the play clock. Now 1. Jackson. Sacked. Cooper lands. Five-yard loss. First sack of the season for Lance.
They only bring 4, but they twist. Lance started on the inside, a little end tackle twist, and Lance is going to get there. Starts on the inside and just getting there with power, pushing the offensive tackle back.
Long time coming for that Baylor up front lineman. Jackie Marshall was the only guy on that front 4 that had a sack this season. Cooper Lance finally gets one. And it's 3rd and 20. Swing it out, Domerkamp. 8-yard pickup, and the Knights will punt it away.
Jacob Redding with that tackle. Player at one point was a walk-on. Actually came on Matt Paladge's radar when he was at Oregon. Wound up coming to Baylor. He was on a list of prospects to look at for preferred walk-ons. Went and saw him play basketball. Really impressed, and Came here and has worked his way up the depth chart to being a key part of that defense.
Josh Cameron standing back at his own 42. Calls for the fair catch. Takes a Baylor bounce. They down it at midfield. 32-yard punt. It'll be Baylor football when we come back. Up 20 over UCF. He's the son of Vitor Belfort, the UFC former great. Here's Davi. You may see him at some point. Transferred in from Virginia Tech.
Competitive young man. They've used him a little bit as a running option at that quarterback position, but yeah, his dad, one of the all-time greats in mixed martial arts.
You ain't lying. Here's Washington. Three-yard pickup, 90 seconds left in the quarter.
I know you want to keep the defense honest. They took that shot there, but I'd be at 12 and working this run game. They've shown they could have some success. They've tried to work it downhill today. I really think overall that Baylor O-line has kind of outplayed that UCF D-line, which could be very good and has flashed at times, but they've been able to get yards on the ground.
Here's Washington again. Under a minute now. Kozlowski, first one to meet him, another 3-yard pickup. Fourth down coming for Baylor. In fact, Baylor is what, 2 for 2 on fourth down. Robertson throwing down the sideline. Caught by Cole Wilson. They got 1st and 10 from their own 45. Jackson going to throw it. Downfield, got a man. That's Speedy Thomas.
They got the matchup they wanted. Speedy Thomas against the safety, Redding.
31-yard pickup.
See Thomas working against the safety. That's what you want. Anytime you got a guy named Speedy, you want to get him on a safety. They did that. Good protection.
Montgomery now gets to the edge, forced out of bounds. Three-yard pickup.
Bringing in number 88, Meadows, as he's wearing he went for Halloween, he went as a tight end. He's really an offensive lineman.
Yes, he is. He's the backup right tackle, wears 58, but then sometimes he'll switch jerseys and wear 88 and play tight end. Jackson, play fake, Mack to Montgomery. He's got a first down.
That was a good job by Devin Bobby playing his responsibility. They had, of those 11 defenders, they had 10 going with the action away. Bobby stayed home.
Inside the red zone. Jackson flips it. Speedy. He's inside the 10, brought down at the 8.
They had some success with that play in the first quarter. Really hadn't seen it up until now. Bringing it back into the fold, setting up the second.
Knights 0 for 1. And we got a false start in the red zone, and that's part of the reason.
Start. Number 78, offense. 5-yard penalty.
Those self-inflicted wounds.
And if you see it, Baylor moved on the left, but that was so far removed from the right tackle that it no longer impacts the right tackle. You can't say that he was drawn off. Has to be either from that defender, either head up or inside him, in order to put the emphasis on the defense.
Second and 9. From the Baylor 14, Montgomery. Inside the tackles, brought down at the 10. Down 20. Clock is ticking.
We had talked to them earlier in the week. They really didn't feel like they had a true red zone target. Where this is a type where you're at a time where if you're a UCF, you feel like you wish you had a trig that you could kind of throw it up to. This offense still developing in that regard.
Throwing to the end zone, incomplete. He was looking at Wade and Charles. Reggie Bush was right with him.
Yeah, well defended. Again, they don't really have that tall, long target down here. Great effort there from Charles, but unable to bring it in.
Yeah, 4th and 6, you got to go for this. You're at the 10. 7th play of this drive. Knights need points. Stepping up, under pressure, he's going to run, flag, dies, short of the first down. They pick up the flag, turnover on downs. Baylor football up 20 when we come back. By the Baylor defense.
See, bringing the pressure, just constricting things around, and there was an escape route there for Jackson, but the defense doing a good job of rallying.
Baylor with the football. Knighton breaks a tackle.
I love the way he runs. He's patient, presses. He's really had a strong afternoon today.
Got a career high in rushing. Caden Knighton, the freshman. 14 carries, 85 yards. He's got a first down.
Again, that O-line, I can't emphasize enough. Again, this is an O-line unit that went through a coaching change this week. The way that they responded and played in protection and now running the football, very impressive.
Robertson steps out of the pocket and keeps it. He's got a first down and more. Tiptoes down the sideline. And they say he steps out at the 35. Talking about fleet of foot.
Yes. Robertson, he's effective as a runner. Here, flushed out, keeps it. He's like he's going to go out of bounds. Like, well, there I got some green and some blockers in front of me. I'm going to keep going.
16-yard pickup. Wow, the senior out of Lubbock. Knighton makes a night miss. Gets to the 40. Another 5-yard pickup for him. He's knocking on the door of 100.
That was a nice little alley-oop there. They can make the defender miss. That was Lewis Carter coming in. Able to dodge him, gets a positive yard.
Quickly, Ashton Hawkins driven back. No pickup there. Jaden Bellamy's had himself a good game.
That was a little bit, he kind of lead him inside. He had his blocker there, number 34, Josh Cameron, but a little bit outside, allowed that outside defender to make the play.
They'll use up as much of the clock as they can here on this 3rd and 5. Aaron throw. And Baylor will punt this one away.
Feels like two drives in a row where they're running the ball well. Tried something a little different, it didn't work out, kind of set them off pace here.
First punt of the day for Baylor, and Palmer Williams, who led the country in punting last season, averaging about 49 yards a punt. Verdell Richardson back deep for the Knights. Calls for the fair catch at his own 14. 8:41 left in this one. Baylor up 20 on the Knights. .841 left here in the 4th quarter. Yeah, we both shaved our heads here for Halloween. And
most of the year I got a full head of hair.
Right.
One of the bald guy this year.
Yeah. Throwing and overshoots his target. He was looking at Speedy Thomas, who was David Jackson, incomplete. And he's trying to tell him, look, go, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, so far today, 3.5 quarters, 1 explosive play, meaning 1 play of 20+ yards on offense.
Fewest points that UCF has scored this season is 11, and that was against Cincinnati. So far, they've just put 3 on the board. Trying to put an end to a 6-game road losing streak. Jaden Nixon. Dropped at the 20. Tyler Turner makes the stop. 5-yard pickup. They'll be looking at 3rd and 5 from their own 20. 8 minutes left in this football game. Baylor trying to put an end to a 2-game losing streak. A disgruntled fan base who have seen a totally different squad than they've seen over the past few weeks, defensively and offensively. Coach Aranda is going to call a timeout.
Timeout, Baylor. Their first of the half. It will be 30 seconds.
Well, coming up tonight at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. And of course, you can catch it on the all-new ESPN app. Final game of a triple header we've got for you. You got 14th ranked Tennessee, 18th ranked Oklahoma, and this one goes down in Knoxville. Oklahoma, of course, coming off that loss to Ole Miss. Tennessee, this is a big game for both of those programs, especially from a playoff standpoint. College football playoff rankings come out on Tuesday.
See how those fall and then continue to change. It's been a crazy season. Only thing I can tell you about those first rankings is if your team's not high, don't panic. Plenty of football will still be played.
Both of these programs looking to get some momentum going here. It's why this game is so important for both of them. Both with 4 wins, and both want to be bowl eligible, trying to get to that 6. And especially for UCF, because UCF has got some ranked opponents here coming up. Under pressure and intercepted. DJ Coleman. first pick of the season. The junior out of Mesquite.
It all starts with the pressure. They're going to get a free runner at the quarterback. That's going to rush Jackson into his decision. You're going to see number 41, he comes unblocked. He can't step into that. Doesn't see Coleman, who's able to step in front of that. In that loss against Cincinnati, no sacks, no interceptions, no forced fumbles. Here this week, playing much better, been able to get pressure. Now Coleman with the interception.
I remember Scott Frost said, for us to win this game, we got to win the turnover battle. We got to win the splash play battle. And it has been Baylor who's won both of those. Here's Knighton.
And what's odd is we came in today, Central UCF was a team that, coming off that West Virginia win where they put over 500 yards of offense, it just seemed like they were on the ascent. And it seemed like Baylor, after 2 straight losses, a lot of noise in the community, that this was a team on the slide. They played opposite of that today.
I don't know if that's the turnover fur or that's his Halloween costume as a bear, but I like it. Second and goal. Caden Knighton goes down. Najee Kelly. Loss of 2.
I know this game is in control for Baylor. What's interesting, though, I haven't seen Michael Trigg in a while.
He had after that last catch, had a little something in his giddy up when he hopped off to the sideline. Robertson, still throw, rolling, throws to the end zone. He got him. Cole Wilson said, I caught that one. Review it if you want.
I dare you. Well, this is the second time I've been really impressed with Robertson and his pocket mobility. And it's going to his left, going to his right. He's going to get pressure, eyes downfield, finds the escape route, keeps his eyes downfield, shoulder squared again, going left as a righty, throws it right in there. That was very impressive.
Ashton Hawkins was the guy, if you take another look at that replay, was like, this is to me. And Cole Wilson stepped right in front, took it. Again, Wilson had a 37-game catch streak that ended last week, and he certainly made up for it this week. Hawkins with the extra point. It is good. Baylor has put a 30 spot on the Knights. Oh, man, that's what his homecoming. You got to dance when it's homecoming. Good times here in Waco. Best moments defensively, Craig.
Yeah, this defense, Dave Aranda's background is on defense, and this unit has responded today when the team needed it. In the secondary, up front, that defensive line, which previous weeks have been struggling to get off blocks, struggling to get pressure, did so today in a big way.
Nixon. Dropped at the 20. So those defensive plays. Let's not forget what DJ Coleman did with that interception here.
Yeah, stepping in front with the pressure coming from the free blitzer. Good teamwork, and then they would turn that into points. And, you know, Brian, if you read articles this week, they were saying that maybe this era has come to an end.
Yeah.
One article I read said that the players are no longer responding, no longer fighting for him. You watch what happened today. You can't say that's true.
You're right. Absolutely.
This team's back was against the wall, and these players came out here today, put their best foot forward, showed a lot of fight.
On both sides of the football.
Yep.
Delay a game.
Delay of game.
On the Knights.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And those are some of the things that for the Knights they're going to have to clean up. I know Scott Frost had talked to us about, yeah, we're 4-3. A couple of those games, we were in it, but it was those little self-inflicted wounds that kept us from winning those football games. Comes with how young they are. 70 new players Scott Frost brought into UCF. Nixon trying to get that edge. 10-yard pickup. They'll be looking at 2nd and 5.
Now, going back to Baylor, we talked about it. They finished their year last year on a 6-game winning streak. They're off schedule to do that again, but do they have another positive run in them end this year?
Montgomery. Flag.
Holding. Number 62, offense. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
I will say, too, for those who are quick to push Aranda out the door, I will say this. Sometimes be careful what you wish for. It's an incredibly crowded job market right now. So if you're going to make a change, you better make a change knowing that you're going to upgrade from a coach who has maybe not met the heights that you want, but has been consistent, kept his team competitive. So just sometimes be careful what you wish for, especially if you don't have a plan B. And right now, that job market is extremely crowded, probably going to grow even a bit larger here in the next few weeks.
Yeah, this is also a program and a school that has been patient. That one completed to Thomas because they have not really fired a coach for on-the-field issues since 2007 as we look at the number of coaches that have been let go since the beginning of the season. Brian Kelly, obviously the latest.
But, I mean, there's some Baylor's a big-time program, but there's some prominent names out there as well. I mean, and again, that list is going to grow. We're silly to think if it's not in the next few weeks.
Jackson throwing. And did Redding come up with the interception? Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
A high school multi-sport athlete. One of those was basketball here in place for the rebound.
Result of the play is an interception. First down, Baylor.
Taking the shot down the side. You see number 38 working. He's tracking it. Got his foot. Oh, that toe's in. Yeah, her right foot was in. Looks like he had trapped it against his shoulder pad.
Caldre Williford with the tip. With Wade and Charles, Jacob Redding comes down with it. 3rd interception of the season for Jacob Redding.
Great coverage there from Williford. An outstanding hustle from Redding.
Nate Bennett is your quarterback. Who checks in. Knighton is thrown down. Kelly Lawson, 3-yard pickup.
Timeout for an injury.
Got a UCF Knight. Derek LeBlanc.
LeBlanc, who had what was ultimately ruled as a fumble recovery earlier in the game off of the pressure from Malachi Lawrence.
He's up. He's going to walk off under his own power. Freshman Caden Knighton already on a career high in rushing with 95 yards, 5 away from 100. As you look at Nate Bennett, backup quarterback, he's a redshirt freshman out of California. They love him. They said, man, the kid is a big arm out. Gunslinger is what Coach Aranda and his staff called him.
He's one of those players that they recruited into the program. And I will say this, even through some of the negativity of this season, they've recruited well. They've got a top 25 class right now. Just got a big flip last week from Stanford for an in-state player, Braylon Morris.
Here's Knighton. Six-yard pickup. That should put him over 100.
Those players they recruited into the program, part of that 2025 class. I'm getting some freshmen starting to play, starting to contribute. Caleb Burns, number 41, one of those players on defense, a freshman who's earned a lot of playing time.
Here's Knighton again. That's a first down. He's a happy camper. He's got over 100 yards rushing. Career high for him. What afternoon he's had.
That's better than any piece of candy you got yesterday.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Baylor has run the rock for over 130 yards, nearly 140. They've put up 405 total yards of offense thus far. Dodge pushes the Powell forward. And we've come to the 2-minute timeout. Baylor, 2 minutes away from their fifth victory of the season. Takes on 19th ranked Vanderbilt. You can watch everything on the all-new ESPN app as well.
We see some of those big guys again. I think really you got to give a hat tip to that unit up front. Coaching change amongst that unit this week and really responded well, really played well.
Third and 1. As you take a look here at Baylor and the Bears, see if they can replicate this the rest of the season. They're a minute away from getting their 5th victory. Look, they got a Utah squad who, Utah's got a really big one today. Game day was there, obviously. Arizona and then Houston.
Houston's losing to West Virginia right now.
How about that? How about that? Baylor will be just a game away from being bowl eligible again. Knights got a tough one schedule going ahead for them.
Every Saturday we get proof of why you play these games.
It's a great point. So Baylor will go to 5-4. UCF will go to 4-4 on the season. That road losing streak now extends to 7 for the Knights. Baylor and Dave Aranda. Stingy defense. They haven't allowed the fewest, this is the fewest point they've given up since 2006. And look at the smile on Dave Aranda's face. That's good to see.
Yeah, I think he's got to be proud the way his team responded.